Powered by Riverside FM.
Welcome to another edition of Unconventional Playbook. I'm your host, Lionel Jones. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Before we get into the Minnesota Vikings win over the Jacksonville Jaguars today, 12-7, let's just get this out of the way first, because I have a lot to say. Let's just get this out of the way first. I'm happy with the 12-7 win. We moved to 7-2. Even if it was an ugly win, I am happy with the win. So let's just get that out of the way first. Congratulations, Minnesota Vikings, for winning the game. The reason why I put that out there like that is because I know there are some people that are going to come at me for this video. And again, I will take an ugly win over a pretty loss any day. But I just got a couple of things to say. Here's the first thing I want to say to Skull Nation, Purple Nation, UP Nation. I don't want to hear another word about Brian Flores and people that have figured his defense out. And Brian Flores, the film has made it around the NFL where coaches now know what they're trying to do. Cut that out. No one's figured out Brian Flores' defense. I've been saying that for the past couple of weeks. There's not a team out there that has figured out Brian Flores' defense. It's whether or not you can stay on schedule or not. It's whether or not you can have a running game or not. It's whether or not you can get Brian Flores in a situation where he can guess what the offense is going to do, whether it's run or pass, and that means staying on schedule. If you can't stay on schedule, you're not going to succeed against Brian Flores' defense. It is unscoutable. There is nothing to figure out. It is based off of reads. They're going to give you a variety of looks. And regardless of your down and distance, that's going to determine how successful that defense and how dominant that defense is. And I think people try to come at B-Flow when he played the Lions, who are a great offensive team with two of the better running backs in the league. And then on a short week, the Los Angeles Rams. Nobody's figured it out. Cut it out. He saved the Minnesota Vikings today. Did you watch the game? Stop after stop after stop after stop after stop. Whenever the offense couldn't move the ball and got into the red zone 5 times, you got into the red zone 5 times and you couldn't put the ball in the end zone, we put Brian Flores' defense in these predicaments where they have to make plays and they have to come up with big plays to seal the game. And here's the thing that frustrates me about that, about putting our defense in that predicament, is that if they would have failed today, there would have been those critics that would have been able to come out and say, as well as the defense played today and as bad as the offense played today, they would have been able to come out and say, you see that Brian Flores defense is not as good as everybody say it is. Man, cut that out. I don't want to hear that for the rest of the year, because the Brian Flores defense, it is the one thing that for the most part, when it's time to play on Sunday night, Thursday night, Monday night, it's the one thing that is more than likely going to show up. It is the one thing on this football team that you can pretty much count on every game. Now, there are going to be those games where they're going to have bad games, but pretty much you can count on B-Flow's defense, and you saw it again tonight. Play after play after play. Lots of things to say. Is Sam Darnold turning into a pumpkin? Is the honeymoon over for Sam Darnold? Is the week of September a flash in the pan? Is it gone? Is this the Sam Darnold that we're going to get week after week, throwing really bad interceptions? The first one, I don't know whether it was bad or not. It ricocheted off of, he tried to throw it inside to Justin Jefferson, ricocheted off a player and a pick. But, man, it seems to me that he has trouble reading weak side defenders, especially safeties, that are rolling over the top of the cover. It's like he just doesn't see those guys. And it's chronic. that he's not seeing those guys. Just bad interceptions. I mean, he's throwing the ball. There's really no hesitation. He's throwing the ball, and it's been various weeks now where that safety is starting to roll over the top, and he just doesn't see it. He just doesn't see it. And then it got to the point of the game where I know he was in his head, man. He was thinking, after the first two, I thought Sam Darnold got a little bit skittish. And when he gets skittish, he becomes unsure and he holds the football a little bit too long. And now the defenders can really read where he wants to go with the football. And as critical as I'm being, Sam Darnold made some plays today when he had to make some plays with his feet, rolling out of the pocket, scrambling for first downs. But man, oh man, the weak side rollover safety gets him every single time. Is Sam Darnold becoming a pumpkin? Is Cinderella gone from the ball? I mean, every week now. I mean, it's bad interceptions. Just interceptions where you're thinking, man, why are you throwing the ball there? Didn't you see that guy there? And for a player like Sam Darnold, these type of games are detrimental. It's detrimental because he's not a confident kid anyway. He has proven that he doesn't come back from these type of situations anyway. It's like a ball of butcher knives rolling downhill. Like it just gets worse the farther it goes. KOC's got a job to do now to rebuild Sam Darnold's confidence so he can continue for the rest of the season without throwing these bad picks. I mean, you got in the red zone 5 times today and came away with 12 points, and it was good enough to win. But that's not the way you want to play football. They've got some issues with Sam Darnold. And I know he's been interception prone before he got to the Minnesota Vikings, but then you saw a glimpse of his talent. You saw a glimpse of his potential. And now over the past few weeks, man, this thing is trending in the wrong direction. And let me say this, and I know you know this, UP Nation, Skull Nation, Vikings Nation. There is no reinforcements coming. Like, you got to stick with Sam. You can't even think about going to Nick Mullins. And I'm not saying it's time to replace Sam. I just know what's going on the past couple of weeks. It's just got to get corrected. You can't continue to play football like this and squander chances. Come on, man. Come on, Sam. I'm a fan. Let me be clear. I'm a fan of Kevin O'Connell. I'm a big fan of Kevin O'Connell. But the one thing that I've always criticized him for is, everybody keeps putting these titles on KOC, quarterback whisperer, offensive genius, mastermind. When he goes into his lab, everyone talks about his offense. Man, I just want to see a complete game from the offense. It's been 3 years. Give me a complete game. I don't want any 30-point comebacks. I don't want any 10. I want a complete game from first quarter to fourth quarter. I want to see the offense play with no dry spells. It's been 3 years. Like, the Minnesota Vikings should be able to get that done. If you got the quarterback whisperer and an offensive mastermind at the helm, sooner or later, you have to play a complete game on the offensive side of the ball, don't you? At some point in time. I mean, today was an atrocity on the offensive end. It was flat out bad on the offensive end. Thank God for B-Flow in the defense, or this would have been a bad loss to Mac Jones, the backup quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It would have been an L. Come on, UP Nation, you got to agree with me, right? That game wasn't fun to watch. And we escaped by the skin of our teeth. We got to start getting this stuff corrected, man. And here's the deal. Another thing that I'm just getting tired of. Kevin O'Connell, you are a great coach. No one's disputing your intelligence. No one's disputing your ability to coach the game. You do not have to prove that you're the smartest guy in the room. These reverses and all these crazy things when you don't need them, you don't have to show your offensive acumen. Just coach the game. Stop putting yourself in bad situations. Just coach the game. You don't have to prove how smart you are. See, this is the problem with young coaches. Young coaches just don't want to coach anymore. They don't want to do the basic things that will win you the football game. They want to do the basic things to win you the football game, but they also want to show you how smart they are. That's the trend with young coaches in all sports. I have to show you how smart I am, along with getting the dub. KOC is good enough without doing that. All these trick plays and these reversals when you don't need them. 3rd and 1 and you're pounding the ball. Aaron Jones returns to the game in the 4th quarter. Hand the ball off to Aaron Jones. You just ran it on 1st down. You just ran it on 2nd down. You're on schedule. It's 3rd and 1. Hand the ball off to Aaron Jones. What are you throwing the ball for? And having Sam Darnold get sacked and lose double-digit yards to put yourself out of field goal range and to give the Jacksonville Jaguars another crack at it. You don't need to prove how smart you are. Stop overthinking the game. Just hand the ball off. It's okay. We know you're an intelligent guy. We know you're smart. Don't overthink the game. I'm surprised when Cam Beasley got the interception and they ruled momentum and he was down on the 1-yard line. I'm surprised they didn't throw a pass down there. I'm almost shocked they didn't throw a pass down there. It called for some handoffs, but KOC seems to overthink stuff. I'm surprised he didn't throw a trick play down there, a flea flicker or something, some sort of fly pattern where Sam Darnold can just launch it just because the defense is thinking run. Just coach the game. Just coach the game. I'm an Aaron Jones guy. I love Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones was a nice pickup for the Minnesota Vikings. We got to get it a running back in the draft. Aaron Jones physically can't hold up. The guy is tough as nails. For him to come back in the 4th quarter, my man Aaron Jones, I give him a lot of praise for that. But he has been nicked up all year, and he keeps bringing himself out there, man. I got to give him a lot of credit. But he had the hip issue before, and now he's probably got some sort of rib issue now. Took a shot today, had to go out, but again, came back in the 4th quarter. Credit to him. Shows a lot of heart. But we got to get a durable running back in next year's draft. Like that's got to be paramount. We've got to have somebody that we can rely on from week to week. And I know that the running back position is really tough. You get pounded at the running backs get used up in the NFL. And when they get used up, they just ship them out. That's why you don't see the running backs getting the big contracts anymore. And this is not throwing Aaron Jones under the bus, but Aaron Jones every week seems like he's coming up with another injury. And he's just getting pounded. And Cam Akers, who's been he's taken over that number 2 spot from Ty Chandler. But he's got 2 bad Achilles. So we need to inject some new blood next year, some form or another, whether it's free agency. I'd like to find a nice young running back in the draft. Man, I don't want to come on here and sound like I'm ranting and raving, but today scared me because we needed that win, and we got it. 12-7. We're 7-2, but UP Nation, we can't keep playing like this. The Minnesota Vikings can't keep playing like this. Because at the end of the day, if we're fortunate enough to make the playoffs, which I think we are going to make the playoffs this year, man, we're going to have some formidable teams where we can't be playing like this. We have enough weapons on offense where we should be able to put the ball in the end zone. You could argue we were able to move the ball today. Why can't we put the ball in the end zone? It's decision making. It's a combination of play calling. You've got to be able to get that done. Who's tired of Justin Jefferson not getting the ball? Dude, I'm telling you right now, that's going to wear thin quick. That's going to wear thin quick. And Justin Jefferson is one of the most classiest guys in the world. And as long as the Vikings keep on winning, he ain't going to say nothing too much. But you better keep on winning. I mean, you thought free three was bad from Jordan Addison. I'm telling you right now, if you don't find a way to get Justin Jefferson the ball in the end zone, you got some issues. And I don't know whether it's play calling or whether it's decision-making by Sam Darnold, but damn it, somebody better figure it out. Somebody better figure it out. Don't perceive Justin Jefferson's classiness as weakness. I'm telling you right now, Justin Jefferson is not going to complain because you're winning football games. And he's a team-first type guy. But you're not going to tell me when I hear he wants to be the greatest ever and he wants to catch for 2,000 yards and he's got a new gritty dance. If he's not able to do this stuff and you start losing football games, you're going to have a problem really quick. So KOC and the crew better figure it out. You're supposed to be an offensive genius. You're supposed to be the quarterback whisperer, the guru. You better figure it out. That's on the real here from UP Nation. Hit that like and subscribe button. I got to talk to you guys like this because you got to get the real. There's no fluff here. It's just reality. And I know most of you are happy that we won that game, but it was ugly. And the ugliness should concern you because at some point it's going to rear its ugly head. I'm not going to come on here and give you baby ducks, marshmallows, and roses. If it doesn't look good, if it stinks, it stinks. I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to put any fluff around. You saw it today. My love for this team is not going to go anywhere just because they play a bad game. But damn it, it was ugly today. You saw it. UP Nation, you saw it. It was ugly. I'm sick and tired of the what KOC calls the self-inflicted, man, the oh my God, the pre-snap penalties. Man, you got to start taking some of these guys off the field. Because whatever you're doing in terms of discipline and punishment, these dudes aren't scared or focused enough to make mistakes. You got to take them off the field. I always say this. I'm a coach. This is my field. Playing time is a great motivator. When you take away playing time, no matter what sport you coach, when you start messing with the playing time, people snap in and get focused. Trust me on that. People that are half-assing it in practice, people that are late for meetings, people that keep getting penalties, holding penalties, personal foul calls, interference calls, you start taking those guys off the field. And everything is going to fix itself. I guarantee you that everything is going to be right. Because right now, whatever the Minnesota Vikings are doing in terms of the pre-snap penalties, they cleaned it up last week. But again, here it is this week at crucial times during the game. It gets us off schedule and gets us off rhythm. And it seems to me They've been talking about this now for the last year and a half, and it's not correcting itself. It's not cleaning it up. So whatever you're doing, you got to try something different. And I'm telling you, man, players want to play. Players want to play. You start messing with their playing time, especially players that got a lot of incentives in terms of snaps and accomplishments on the field. They're going to get it together. You start messing with that playing time. We're supposed to be a deep team. So next man up, if somebody's out there not focused, because you can't keep going like this, like you got to fix it. What are you going to do? Stand by and keep doing the same thing? The definition of insanity is keeping on doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And so right now, whatever the coaching staff is doing in that department to try to get that stuff corrected, it ain't working. Sorry about my grammar, but it ain't working. Start taking some of these guys off the field. Speaking of off the field, where was Dallas Turner today? I don't know how many snaps Dallas Turner got compared to didn't last week he play a good game? He played a pretty good, some would argue it was his best game of his career in the NFL. Did some really good things. Man, I didn't see him out there on the field. Doesn't mean that he wasn't out there on the field, but I'll be interested to see how many snaps he got. Where's Dallas Turner? Man, is this kid so bad that they can't put him on the field? Man, that's just mind-blowing, especially off of last week's game. Man, we got the win. I'm not coming over here trying to throw water on your fire. I'm not. I'm fired up. We're 7-2. Very fortunate to get this win. The first leg of a 3-game road trip. I'll take it. 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 But man, I just want this thing to start heading in a direction, and I keep waiting for this thing to be headed in a direction. People were talking about a couple weeks ago, man, wait till we get T.J. Hockenson back. T.J. Hockenson is a ball. You saw that today. This is nothing against T.J. Hockenson, but I thought when T.J. Hockenson come back, we were going to have all our weapons. This thing was going to start rolling like a well-oiled machine. And it wasn't T.J. Hawkinson's fault today, but this is not a well-oiled machine right now. Did it look like you could argue with T.J. Hockenson doing as well as he did today? They had their worst offensive day that they've had all season long with T.J. Hockenson. I thought he was supposed to solve a lot of problems. Played a hell of a game today. Blake Cashman, oh my God. He played a great game today too. Welcome back, Mr. Cashman. Showed you how important he is to our defense. He was all over the place today. Man, I'm telling you right now, Brian Flores and that defense is doing a hell of a job this year. They stubbed their toe twice against the best offense in the league, and then the Rams on a short week with 2 players that they had no idea probably that they were going to play. That got off. And I'm not making excuses, but that's just the real. And then everybody else they've dealt with. But I'm telling you right now, if the Minnesota Vikings are relying on their defense to take them where they want to go, they are going to be in for a rude awakening. Their offense has to wake up. Their offense has to wake up. We've got to find a way to get our best players the ball and not have these dry spells during the game, these ugly-ass dry spells that we have during games. We're too talented. We're too talented to be held down like we were held down today, scoring 12 points, getting into the red zone 5 times. Come on, man. We're better than that. I don't care who the quarterback is. Like, we got to fix the stuff that needs fixing. We got to fix the stuff that needs fixing. Hit that like and subscribe button. This is Unconventional Playbook. Man, the Minnesota Vikings have given us a season that I don't think anybody expected, that very few people that have expected. And again, if you would have told me before the season started we'd be 7-2, I would be really happy. But I'm not talking about that. I'm getting away from the record. I'm getting away from where the Vikings are. I'm happy. I'm just giving things the eye test. And if you want to be blind and ignore the eye test and just focus on the record, I'm telling you, down the road, you're going to be disappointed. I want to embrace the record, but I also need for it to look good as well because we're too talented. If we were less talented, that would be one thing. But you're talking about T.J. Hockenson, Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, all the players that we've just Speedy Naylor. You mean to tell me this is what we're supposed to look like on the offensive side of the ball with the quarterback whisperer calling plays? Man, we got to get it together, Minnesota Viking fans, UP Nation, Skull Nation. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Because I know people are going to hit me, oh, Jones, you're jumping off the bandwagon. You just made a pod about them going to the Super Bowl. I said the Minnesota Vikings are going to go to the Super Bowl in the next 3 years. But I'm dealing with the present. I'm dealing with it right now. What are we going to do right now? Is this what we're going to be? Is this what we're going to look like? Man, I'm just waiting for the complete game that KOC can provide this offense. The guy has a great acumen for coaching. I know he's a good offensive coach. I just want to see it. I'm tired of talking about it. I just want to see it from the first quarter to the fourth quarter, one game. Give me one game. From the first quarter to the fourth quarter, I want to see it. No dry spells. I want to run it up on somebody just one time. We got the weapons to do it just one time. That's what I want to see. Just one time. We've seen it in spurts. Like one of the best offensive games we played is when we got down to the Colts a couple of years ago. 33-0 or whatever the score was, and then we came back. But we had to get down 33-0 first. Like, I just want to see it for 4 quarters. Somebody's got to figure something out with the offense and stop all the cute stuff on offense. You don't, KOC, you don't have to prove to Vikings Nation how smart you are. Just call the game, brother. Just call the game. You won a Super Bowl. Just call the game. Stop with all the trick plays and outthinking the defense on 3rd and 1 when you need to have the clock still run and you got a powerful running back in the backfield who's having a pretty decent game. Dude, hand the ball off. Hand the ball off, because now you're putting the ball in the hands of your offensive line who's weak up the middle in your interior and your quarterback that's thrown a few interceptions for the day. That's a recipe on this day. That's a recipe for disaster. Man, I just had to jump on here and talk about it. I'm just waiting for that game. Hopefully it'll be next week, but I'm still rolling with my Vikes, man. We're 7-2. I just had to come on Unconventional Playbook and give you the real. I know there's a lot of analysts out there that are going to come out and say, Minnesota, we got the win, and I agree with them. I agree with them. We got the win, and I'm happy with the win. But it was ugly. And it is very concerning because I know where we want to go. So we just got to make sure that we get that straight. This has been Unconventional Playbook. Just a recap of the game today. I was a little bit peeved. Today. Just didn't like what I saw, all the interceptions, man. Just, if it's okay to make mistakes, man, but you got to start moving in the right direction and improve things. And it seems like we're at a stalemate when it comes to the interceptions, the pre-snap penalties, and these dry spells that the offense go through. I'm just kind of getting a little annoyed watching it, aren't you? I mean, if you aren't, talk to me in the in the comments. Let me know what's up. You know I'll respond. Let me know what's up in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Is this what you want to see from the Minnesota Vikings? How do we fix it? I just know I'm getting a little peeved at watching it. Man, it's crazy. This has been Unconventional Playbook. I'm going to make sure to see you when I see you. Latrey, take us home, man.
I don't know who I am. Can I say I'm a man? Am I losing my mind? Am I wasting my time? Do I know who I am?